My dear friend, listen to me carefully today. For I want to share a truth with you that might seem challenging at first, but it holds the very key to your freedom, to your true kingship. Have you ever considered what it truly means to work hard? We are taught from our earliest days that hard work is the ultimate virtue, aren't we? That if you just put your head down, toil endlessly, sweat and strive, success will inevitably be yours. And indeed, there is a kind of success that comes from this relentless effort. You might build something magnificent, accumulate great wealth, achieve fame, or master a skill. But I ask you, at what cost? And more importantly, what kind of success is it? Look closely at the people around you, and perhaps even within yourself. Many who dedicate their lives to this relentless pursuit of work, however noble their intention, often find themselves bound, don't they? They become servants to their work, slaves to their ambitions, prisoners of their own achievements. This isn't freedom, it's another form of bondage, perhaps more gilded, more celebrated, but bondage nonetheless. You might build a magnificent empire, but if you cannot step away from it, if your peace of mind is constantly tethered to its rise and fall, if your identity is wholly consumed by it, then are you truly a king, or merely the most diligent of its servants? Think of a bustling marketplace. Everyone is working, striving, selling, bargaining. Each person is deeply invested in their trade, their livelihood. But watch their faces. How many truly radiate an inner peace, a sense of sovereignty? Many are anxious, driven, constantly looking over their shoulder, fearing competition, fearing loss, fearing failure. Their hard work, while productive, has become their master. They are like a horse pulling a carriage, very strong, very capable, but still harnessed, still directed by another force. This is the kind of effort that makes you a very efficient slave, a highly productive servant. You become indispensable, yes, but indispensable to what? To a system? To a set of expectations? To a constant churning that may never truly satisfy the deepest longing of your soul. I see this so often, even in the most earnest of seekers. They work hard at their spiritual practices, dedicatedly meditating, chanting, studying, and yet, sometimes, even this becomes a burden, another task on a never-ending to-do list. They say, I times must times meditate for 2 hours, I times must times read this scripture, I times must times perform this ritual. The times must times becomes a chain, not a gateway to liberation. Their spiritual practice, instead of freeing them, binds them to a new set of rules and expectations, and the joy, the spontaneity, the true connection begins to fade. They are toiling, yes, but without the understanding of true mastery. This is why I say, if you only work hard, you will become a slave. A very good slave perhaps, but a slave nonetheless. Your life will be dictated by external demands, by the endless cycle of doing, achieving, maintaining. You will find yourself running on a treadmill, gaining speed, but never truly moving forward in the sense of inner freedom. The world applauds your diligence, your perseverance, your output. But does your heart sing? Do you feel truly expansive, truly free? This is the crucial question, my friend. This is where the path to kingship diverges from the path of servitude. It's not about avoiding effort, it's about transforming the times, nature times of that effort, understanding its true purpose. It's about moving from merely times, doing times, to truly times, being asterisk. Consider the difference between a laborer building a magnificent palace and the king who commissions it. Both are involved in work. The laborer expends immense physical energy, following instructions, laying brick after brick. The king, however, envisions the palace, directs its creation, and ultimately dwells within its completed majesty. The laborer's hard work is essential, but its dark top is in service to the king's vision. Now, I am not suggesting you avoid the labor, far from it. But I am asking you to cultivate the times mindset, times of the king, even as you perform the work of the laborer. To understand that the true power lies not in the sweat on your brow, but in the clarity of your purpose, the depth of your vision, and the detachment with which you approach the fruits of your labor. This detachment, this understanding, is what transforms toil into sovereignty. It is what elevates you from a mere cog in the machine to the master of your own destiny. And this, my friend, is where the journey to becoming a true king begins. It's a journey not of less effort, but of profoundly times different times effort. It's about working times with intention, asterisk, asterisk with mastery, asterisk, asterisk with freedom, asterisk. So, what is this profound difference? It lies in understanding that true power, true freedom, comes not from endlessly chasing external achievements, but from cultivating an inner kingdom. It comes from directing your will, your energy, your very being, not just towards accumulating things, but towards becoming the master of your own mind. Imagine a sculptor. They work incredibly hard, chipping away, shaping, refining. But their true mastery isn't just in the physical exertion. It's in the vision they hold, the ability to see the finished form within the raw stone, and the unwavering concentration with which they bring that vision to life. If they were merely chipping without a vision, without intention, they would simply be breaking rocks. Their hard work would be meaningless, exhausting. But with vision, with purpose, with a sense of creation, their effort becomes an act of transcendence. This is the difference. This is the shift we must make. We must become the sculptors of our own lives, not just the tireless laborers. This journey from laborer to sculptor, from unthinking drudgery to conscious creation, is not about abandoning effort. It's about elevating it. It's about transforming work from a burden to a blessing, from a means to an end to a meditation unto itself. Imagine a master artist, brush in hand, poised before a pristine canvas. Does he see the paint as a chore? The canvas as a duty? No, he sees a universe waiting to be born. His strokes are not forced but flow, each imbued with intention, each a whisper of his soul. The finished masterpiece is but an echo of the joy he found in its making. This is the alchemy we seek to bring to our own existence. We often fall into the trap of thinking our efforts are only validated by external results, the promotion, the recognition, the monetary gain. And while these can be pleasant side effects, they must never be the sole times raison d'être asterisk. If they are, then every setback feels like a personal failing, every unfulfilled expectation a crushing disappointment. We become slaves to a constantly shifting external landscape, our inner peace held hostage by forces beyond our control. This is the difference between building a sandcastle that washes away with the tide and carving a mountain from bedrock. The sandcastle builder is constantly anxious, watching the waves, his joy fleeting and fragile. The mountain carver, however, finds inherent satisfaction in the chipping, the shaping, the slow, deliberate unveiling of form. His focus is on the process, on the mastery of his craft, and the enduring monument is a byproduct of his dedication, not its sole purpose. This deep engagement, this immersion in the process, is where true transformation occurs. It's not just about changing what we times do asterisk, it's about changing who we times are, times in the doing. When you approach your daily tasks, whatever they may be it tending a garden, crafting a spreadsheet, or caring for a loved one, with this sculptor's mindset, something profound shifts. The mundane becomes sacred. The trivial gains meaning. You infuse every action with your full awareness, your pure intention, your highest self. It's no longer just a chore, it's an offering. You're not just moving through the motions, you're manifesting your inner potential, step by deliberate step. Consider the gardener who toils in the soil. He doesn't simply dig holes and plant seeds. He observes the earth, he feels its texture, he understands its needs. He shelters his young sprouts, waters them with care, and waits with patience for the blossoming. For him, the growth of each plant is a mirror to his own growth, a testament to the cycles of life. The harvest is a blessing, yes, but the real reward is the communion with nature, the quiet dignity of creation, the daily dance of nurturing life. This kind of work is not draining, it is revitalizing. It doesn't diminish you, it expands you. And it's from this place of inner expansion that our external world truly begins to flourish. When we act with such presence and intention, our work becomes more effective, more inspired, more impactful. We connect more deeply with those around us, for our authenticity shines through. We become beacons of purpose, radiating a quiet strength that draws others in. This isn't a strategy for success, it's a consequence of living fully. It's the natural overflowing of an inner wellspring of joy and meaning. Think of a river. It doesn't struggle to flow, it simply times flow. Its purpose is inherent in its very nature. It carves canyons not through brute force, but through relentless, consistent, unwavering surrender to its own momentum. This surrender is not passivity, it is active presence. It is the river being utterly itself, in every drop, in every current. We, too, must learn to be the river. We must discover our natural flow, our inherent purpose, and allow ourselves to manifest it with the same effortless power. But how do we cultivate this mindset? How do we make this shift from frantic churning to purposeful sculpting? It begins with introspection, with a conscious turning inward. We must question our motives, examine our ingrained habits, and challenge the beliefs that hold us captive. Why do I do what I do? Is it out of fear, obligation, or genuine desire? Am I truly present in this moment, or am I constantly chasing the next, the better, the more? This requires courage, for looking inward can sometimes reveal discomfort. It can expose the illusions we've built around ourselves, the justifications we use to avoid deeper work. But just as the sculptor must chip away the excess stone to reveal the form within, we too must be willing to shed the layers that obscure our true nature. This process of self-inquiry is not a one-time event. It's a continuous practice, a lifelong commitment to refining our inner landscape. Each question answered, each illusion dissolved, brings us one step closer to becoming the master sculptors of our own destinies. It's about cultivating an inner vision, a clear understanding of the masterpiece we inherently are, waiting to be unveiled. And as this inner vision sharpens, as we begin to see ourselves not as fragmented beings tossed about by the whims of circumstance, but as unified expressions of a divine whole, something remarkable begins to happen. The fear that once clung to us like a shroud, the anxiety that gnawed at our peace, starts to dissipate. Why? Because fear is fundamentally rooted in a perception of separation, a belief that we are alone, vulnerable, and incomplete. But when you truly understand your inherent completeness, your unbreakable connection to the universal consciousness, what is there left to fear? It's like a drop of water realizing it's not just a drop, but an inseparable part of the vast, boundless ocean. That drop can no longer be truly lost, truly alone, or truly vulnerable, because its identity is now dissolved in the magnificent power of the whole. This realization doesn't make us reckless or complacent, quite the opposite. It imbues us with a profound sense of inner strength and purpose. Imagine a skilled artisan working on a delicate sculpture. Do they fear cracking the marble? No, because they understand the material, they know their tools, and they trust their vision. They move with quiet confidence, precision, and an unwavering belief in the beauty they are coaxing forth. In the same way, when we understand our true nature, we approach life's challenges not with apprehension, but with a similar quiet confidence. We see obstacles not as insurmountable walls, but as opportunities for further refinement, for deeper revelation of the masterpiece within. Each challenge becomes a chisel stroke, shaping us, revealing more of our inherent beauty and power. This journey is also about shedding the layers of expectation and judgment that society so readily places upon us, and just as readily we internalize. From the moment we are born, we are told who we should be, what we should achieve, what defines success. We are given templates, molds, into which we are expected to fit. Some of these molds are well-meaning, offered by loving families and communities. Others are far more insidious, painted by the superficial glitters of materialism and fleeting worldly pleasures. But each time we try to cram ourselves into a predefined shape, we deny a piece of our authentic self. It's like trying to force a majestic oak tree into a tiny bonsai pot. The tree will either wither, or it will eventually shatter the pot, unable to contain its own grand nature. Our task, then, is to recognize these external molds for what they are: artificial constructs. It's to gently, yet firmly, refuse to be confined by them. This doesn't mean rejecting society or withdrawing from the world. It means engaging with the world from a place of profound authenticity, rather than from a place of prescribed identity. It means understanding that your value, your worth, is not something conferred upon you by others, nor is it dependent on any external acquisition. Your value is intrinsic, woven into the very fabric of your being. It is ancient, eternal, and utterly unassailable. Consider the sun. Does the sun ask for permission to shine? Does it doubt its own luminescence because a cloud passes by? No, it simply radiates its light, effortlessly, unconditionally. Its purpose is to be the sun, and in its being, it illuminates everything around it. We too must learn to be like the sun in our own sphere, to radiate our authentic being, our inherent truth, without apology or hesitation. This radiant authenticity isn't born of arrogance, it springs from a deep, humble understanding of our connection to the divine source. It's a quiet knowing, a gentle power that influences not by force, but by its very presence. It transforms not by active struggle, but by simply being. And in this state of authentic being, we become a beacon for others, inspiring them, perhaps, to begin their own journey of self-discovery, to unveil the masterpiece within themselves. The ripples of such a transformation extend far beyond our individual lives, touching families, communities, and ultimately, the vast tapestry of humanity. This is the true power, the silent revolution of enlightenment. It's not about grand pronouncements or dramatic gestures. It's about a quiet, unwavering strength that emanates from within. Think of a mighty oak tree. It doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't actively campaign for its magnificence. Its grandeur is simply inherent in its existence. Its roots delve deep, drawing sustenance from the earth, and its branches reach towards the sky, embracing the light. It stands firm against the storm, yet it provides shade and shelter, a home for countless creatures. Its very being is a testament to resilience, to growth, to connection. We, too, are meant to be like that oak rooted in truth, reaching for higher consciousness, offering unwavering strength and solace to the world around us, simply by being who we truly are. And what prevents us from reaching this state of inherent strength? It is often fear. Fear of judgment, fear of inadequacy, fear of the unknown. We cling to what is familiar, even if it brings us discomfort, because the thought of stepping into the unfamiliar, into the true vastness of our potential, feels overwhelming. We are like birds in a cage, the door wide open, yet too afraid to fly. We have forgotten the innate power of our wings, the boundless sky that awaits us. It's a tragedy, isn't it? To possess such incredible capability, such divine spark, and yet to live in self-imposed limitation. This fear isn't some external entity that attacks us. It is a construct of our own minds, a shadow dance born of past experiences and conditioning. We build these walls around ourselves, brick by brick, whispering to ourselves narratives of, "I can't, I'm not enough, what will people think?" These are not truths, they are merely echoes, ghosts of old wounds. The journey of self-discovery, then, becomes a dismantling of these walls, brick by laborious brick, until the light of day can finally pour in, illuminating the truth of our being. And as we dismantle them, as we bravely face the shadows, we begin to realize that the fear was never real in the first place, or rather, it was a paper tiger, fierce in appearance, but ultimately without substance. The true reality is the boundless joy, the inherent peace that lies beneath. Consider the story of the traveler lost in a dense fog. For hours, they wander, disoriented and afraid, believing themselves utterly alone and without direction. But then, a gentle breeze begins to stir, slowly, almost imperceptibly, parting the veils of mist. And as the fog dissipates, the traveler sees, with a sudden surge of relief, that they were never truly lost. The path was always there, clear and straight, leading exactly where they needed to go. The destination hadn't changed, only their perception had been obscured. Our spiritual path is much the same. The truth of who we are, our highest self, is always there, waiting to be revealed. The fog is our ignorance, our fear, our conditioning. When we engage in practices that calm the mind, that turn our gaze inward, we are, in essence, inviting that gentle breeze to dissipate the fog, to reveal the clear path that has been there all along. It's not about finding something new, it's about rediscovering what was always present. It's a return to ourselves, a homecoming. And this homecoming is not a journey to be embarked upon with grim determination, but with a sense of playful curiosity, like a child exploring a new garden. Each step, each insight, is a wonder. There will be thorns, yes. There will be moments of discomfort, but these are merely part of the growth, like a caterpillar shedding its skin to become a butterfly. The discomfort is temporary, the transformation is eternal. Embrace the process, don't resist it. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, is always guiding you towards your highest good, if only you allow yourself to be guided. It's a dance, a magnificent cosmic dance between your individual self and the universal consciousness. Let go of the need to control every step, and instead, learn to trust the rhythm, the flow of life itself. Trust that you are held, that you are loved, and that your journey is unfolding precisely as it should. This trust is the ultimate act of surrender, and in that surrender, true power is found. It's a paradox, isn't it, to find strength in letting go? But that is the nature of spiritual truth. It often defies conventional logic, inviting us into a deeper understanding of reality. This journey of letting go isn't about weakness, mind you. It's not about surrendering to external circumstances or becoming a doormat for the world to wipe its feet on. On the contrary, it's the ultimate act of courage. Imagine a river, powerful and relentless, carving canyons out of solid rock. Does it struggle against the boulders? Does it fight the banks that guide its flow? No. It yields. It embraces the path of least resistance, yet in that yielding, in that surrender to its own nature, it gathers an irresistible force. It finds its immense power not in rigid opposition, but in a fluid, unyielding movement forward. Similarly, when we learn to release our grip on what we times think, times we need, on the burdens of ego and attachment, we don't become passive. We become like that river, centered, dynamic, and incredibly potent. We shed the heavy armor of our perceived weaknesses and discover the inherent strength that lies beneath. Think of a mighty oak tree. It stands firm against the fiercest storms, not by stiffening, but by allowing its branches to sway, its leaves to dance with the wind. It bends, it adapts, and in that flexibility, it finds its unbreakable resilience. Its roots plunge deep into the earth, anchoring it, while its branches reach for the sky, embracing the vastness. It doesn't fight the storm, it weathers it, and in weathering it, it grows stronger, its rings marking each trial overcome. So often, we perceive strength as rigidity, as an unyielding stance, but true strength, spiritual strength, is far more subtle, far more profound. It is the strength of adaptability, of understanding that constant resistance only drains your vital energy. This letting go, then, is about reclaiming your energy. How much of your daily life is consumed by worrying about things you cannot change? How much emotional fuel do you burn, replaying past grievances or fretting about future uncertainties? It's like trying to bail out a leaky boat with a sieve. The effort is immense, but the results are negligible. You're pouring your precious life force into endeavors that ultimately lead nowhere. When you consciously choose to detach from these mental and emotional drains, that energy doesn't disappear. It becomes available to you, a vast reservoir that you can now direct towards purposeful creation, towards genuine connection, towards the pursuit of your highest ideals. Consider the artist at the peak of their creative flow. Are they consumed by self-doubt? Are they constantly second-guessing every brushstroke or every note? No. They are lost in the act of creation, utterly absorbed, allowing the inspiration to flow through them. They have let go of the need for perfection, of the fear of judgment, and in that surrender, true brilliance emerges. The painting paints itself, the music composes itself, the words write themselves. It is a state of active surrender, where the individual ego steps aside, allowing a greater wisdom to manifest. This is not about passivity. It is about becoming a conduit for something larger than yourself. It is about trusting the process, trusting the inherent intelligence of life itself. This trust is paramount. It's what allows you to leap into the unknown, knowing that even if you stumble, the ground will rise to meet you. It's the faith that life is not happening times to times you, but times for times you. It's a profound shift in perspective that transforms every challenge into an opportunity, every setback into a stepping stone. When you truly embrace this trust, the anxieties that once plagued you begin to dissipate like morning mist under the rising sun. You recognize that you are not merely a leaf tossed by the winds of fate, but an integral part of a grand, unfolding cosmic design, deeply connected to the very fabric of existence. And in that recognition, in that profound sense of belonging, you find an unparalleled freedom. The world might continue to throw its storms and trials your way, but within you, there will be an unshakable calm, a profound peace that no external circumstance can touch. This inner peace is not an absence of trouble, it is the presence of an unwavering spirit.